Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is News at 12. News at 12. In the local scene, a program of the Department of Trade and Industry aimed at strengthening agri-based enterprises is supported by the province of Albay. The Sangguniang Panlalawigan formalized its backing through a resolution adopted during its 40th regular session under the Committee on Trade and Commerce. The initiative seeks to improve sustainability and productivity in the agri-food and agri-fisheries sectors while addressing recurring challenges faced by local enterprises. It is a 6-year national program set for implementation from January 2027 to December 2032. Committee Chairperson Attorney Sheena Marie Unrubia de la Cruz moved for the approval of the resolution extending full provincial support. The provincial government will also endorse the program to the Regional Development Council in Region 5 as a priority initiative for Albay. In other story, Albay is promoting cultural awareness and preservation as it joins the nationwide observance of National Heritage Month this May. The Provincial Tourism, Culture and Arts Office highlights the province's heritage sites and traditions under this year's theme focused on shared heritage and collective future. The Cagsawa Ruins in Daraga remains a key attraction, recognized as a national cultural treasure for its historical value and scenic view of Mayon Volcano. Located in Barangay Buzay, the landmark continues to draw visitors while reflecting the resilience of the Bicolano people. Authorities are urging residents to help protect cultural assets and keep traditions alive for future generations. In other news, Albay is stepping up efforts to improve community-based mental health care following a 3-day training held in Legazpi City. The Albay Provincial Health Office joined the April 28 to 30 training to strengthen mental health services at the grassroots level. The program gathered health personnel to enhance their understanding of mental health and its role in community settings. Participants were trained on practical approaches to recognize, respond to, and support individuals with mental health concerns. The initiative emphasized early intervention and community-based care to improve mental health outcomes. A key component of the training was the Katatagan Plus initiative, which focuses on resilience and coping strategies. The activity was organized by the Department of Health Center for Health Development in Region 5. Officials said the participation reflects the province's push to integrate mental health into primary health care and expand support for vulnerable sectors. In the national scene, a nationwide survey by Octa Research found that a majority of Filipinos trust the Philippine National Police (PNP) and are satisfied with its performance. The survey, conducted through face-to-face interviews from March 19 to 25, 2026 among 1,200 respondents aged 18 and above, reported that 63% expressed trust in the PNP, while 61% said they were satisfied with how it performs its duties. In contrast, 17% of respondents said they distrust the police and 20% were dissatisfied, while 19% in both categories said they were undecided or neutral. Regionally, Mindanao recorded the highest ratings with 74% trust and 69% satisfaction, followed by the Visayas, while the National Capital Region posted the lowest levels at 54% trust and 52% satisfaction. The survey also found that lower income groups showed higher trust and satisfaction, while upper and middle income respondents gave the lowest ratings. The survey carried a margin of error of positive -3% nationwide and negative positive 6% for subnational areas and a 95% confidence level. In other story, a social weather station SWS survey released Wednesday found that about 38% of Filipinos expect their quality of life to improve in the next 12 months, while 32% think it will stay the same and 16% expect it is going to worsen, and 14% are unsure, resulting in a high net personal optimism score of positive 23%. The latest results is lower than the plus 36 recorded in November 2025 and below the 2025 average of plus 39, making it the weakest outlook since September 2020, when optimism dropped sharply during the COVID-19 pandemic. SWS said optimism fell across most regions, including Metro Manila, Luzon outside the capital, and Mindanao, while the Visayas remained relatively steady, and both urban and rural areas, as well as men and women, showed declines. Younger Filipinos remained the most optimistic group, but overall confidence decreased across all age and education levels, with SWS noting that such nationwide optimism has rarely turned negative since tracking began in 1984. In other news, the Philippines and Japan signed a new agreement to boost the transfer of defense equipment and technology as both countries seek stronger military ties amid rising regional tensions. Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr. and Japanese Defense Minister Shinjiro Koizumi said the deal will expand cooperation in training, maintenance, operations, and information sharing, with possible future transfers of ships and aircraft. The agreement builds on existing defense partnerships, including joint exercises like Balikatan, where Japan significantly increased its troops' participation this year. Teodoro defended these military activities, stressing their importance for national security and assuring the public that safety measures are strictly followed during exercises. Both countries also reaffirmed their opposition to forceful action in disputed waters and emphasized the need for stronger partnerships to maintain peace and stability in the region. And in the news outside the country, President Donald Trump said Tuesday that the United States is pausing its military operation to escort ships through the Strait of Hormuz after just one day pushing for a deal with Iran. The operation, called Project Freedom, began Monday to protect ships in the key waterway where tensions have risen between the U.S. and Iran. Trump said on Truth Social that the pause came after requests from Pakistan and other mediators and claimed there had been progress toward a possible agreement with Tehran. The United States continues to enforce a blockade on Iranian ports as part of its pressure campaign to end the conflict that began with U.S. and Israeli strikes on February 28. U.S. officials, including Secretary of State Marco Rubio, said major offensive operations have ended, describing current actions as defensive, while noting that Washington believed it has largely achieved its goal, but still prefers a negotiated settlement. In other story, a Dutch cruise operator reported a serious medical situation on the MV Hondius in Atlantic, raising concern that a hantavirus infection may be involved. Hantavirus is a rare but dangerous virus carried mainly by wild rodents like mice and rats, which can carry it without getting sick. People can become infected when they breathe in dust contaminated with rodent urine, droppings, or saliva, and more rarely through bites. The illness can develop into severe lung and heart problems in the Americas or kidney and bleeding complications in Europe and Asia, often starting with flu-like symptoms such as fever and body pain. There is no specific vaccine or cure for hantavirus, so treatment focuses on supportive care, and while most cases are rare, the disease can be deadly with a fatality rate that varies by region. And finally, the news outside the country with reference to the Philippines. The U.S. State Department has approved a possible $150 million foreign military sale of Bell 505 Jet Ranger X helicopters and related equipment to the Philippines, according to a congressional notification released on Wednesday. The package includes Bell 505 helicopters, spare parts, flight simulators, training systems, and long-term logistic support to improve the Philippines' helicopter training and maintenance capabilities. Under the proposal, 22 Filipino personnel would receive pilot training covering flight instruction, instrument flying, safety procedures, and advanced helicopter handling, with 6 others would be trained in maintenance and technical systems. The State Department said the deal is meant to strengthen the Philippines as a key U.S. ally and improve its ability to respond to current and future security challenges in the region. The Bell 505 Jet Ranger X is a light training and utility helicopter used for basic pilot instruction, observation, transport, and the sale also includes simulators, equipment, and long-term support without affecting U.S. defense readiness. And that's the news at 12, May 7, 2026. We'll be back next week for more news updates. Thanks to all the news writers, Naomi Ruth Hernandez and LG Lurejo. And on the technical side, Chad Bovis. And our Provincial Information Office OIC, Marty Gonzalez. And under the supervision of our Governor, Noel Irusal. I am Greg Hallare. Thank you for subscribing. Albay in my heart.